Hey again, and welcome back for the final video in my March 2021 class by mail featuring the Friends Are Like Seashells or Sea and Sand collection it's called when you pop it together with all its paper and embellishments and ribbons, etc, etc. So it's a collection, but the stamp set itself is called the Friends Are Like Seashells, and the dies are called, I think, just plain old Seaside Seashells dies. That's a bit of a tongue twister, that one. Okay, so as I say, this is the last card from this class, and it uses a lot of the other elements of the collection, so I wanted to show you those as well. Particularly wanted to show you in this one, firstly, the beautiful pearlized paper that I've used to cut out the die. So you can see it's got a really lovely shimmer in this light in my room. Sorry, I haven't started my iPad. Really lovely shimmer. There goes my voice. Anyway, it's got a really lovely shimmer that you can see in the light. But also, I wanted to show you what happens when you couple the die cuts together with the embossing folder, and that's what I was mentioning to you before about how if you've bought the dies, I really suggest that you get the embossing folder as well. So what you basically do, and I've done this for all your kits so you don't have to do it here, but for future reference, run the paper, in this case the pearlized paper or any paper that you're using, through the die cuts and get your beautiful shapes. Then line those shapes up with the embossing folder and pop that through, and you do get this wonderful 3D effect. So pop it through the die cut first and then the embossing folder, not the other way around, because you will flatten your images if you pop it through to die cut it second, and it would be very difficult to line up. But yeah, it's really, really nice, and it makes a card, basically, as you can see with this one, it makes a card itself. You know, not much else needed to make a beautiful, effective card. And I haven't glued down all the reeds and things. I've sort of let them sort of fly a bit wild. So you can sort of get that really nice 3D effect as well. Okay, bit of apologies here. Some of you have got this Whisper White edging ribbon, the crinkled edging ribbon, in your kits to do the bow, and all the bows I did colour with my Flirty Flamingo blend, but halfway through my Flirty Flamingo blend died and wouldn't cooperate anymore. So the last couple of the kits have this really lovely Blushing Bride gold flecked ribbon, which actually I think, unfortunately, you guys who got your kits early, I think I actually prefer it. But I'll show you how to do both, although I'm just using the white ribbon and not the pink. So I'll show you how to do both cards, obviously. Okay, so let's get making. I do actually have another difference here in my little kit, in the fact I'm using a slightly different designer series paper. And I used so much of it in the kits that I sent to you guys that I had to sort of compromise with my own and use something slightly different. So in this case you have a Blushing Bride card base, normal size, 8 1/4 by 5 3/4. You've got a panel of Very Vanilla, which is going to pop just inside like that. You have your die cut shape. Oh, here's another difference. I ran out of the pearlized paper, so I've actually done this one in shimmer paper. The shimmer isn't quite as pronounced, but it's still pretty, and it's sort of the right sort of colour for this design. But let's just face it, guys, you got the best, and I was left with the rest. So, okay, we've got a panel of Flirty Flamingo cardstock, which is 1/4 inch smaller than the card base. A piece of designer series paper from the bundle. This one's quite nice. It actually goes from sort of your Flirty Flamingos through to your Blushing Bride, and I think that's Mango Melody. Anyway, it sort of transitions, so you can pop it whichever way you want. It's the same colours as you've got in your designer series paper, except without that sort of wavy, marbly effect. So you've got that there. You've got your ribbon of whatever sort of ribbon I had for you. you've got some sentiment boxes cut from the Stitched So Sweetly die set, which seemingly pops up in every class just about. You've got a little piece of cardstock for stamping your one little image from this one, and you've got some, if they come out, you've got some pearls as well, my favourite Blushing Bride pearls from the Hydrangea suite, which I've used quite unashamedly in this class. Okay, so really this card, there's not much to it at all. It's just a matter of layering up and then adding the elements and things. So we're going to pop the card base aside because I don't want to be tempted to add it before time. So even the other side of that's really, really nice. You guys might prefer to flip it over and have those seashells as a background, but I quite like the flirty flamingo with the pink. If you decided to flick it over, I probably would exclude the flirty flamingo or supplement it, pop it a different colour in the background, so maybe something there to break up the pinks a little bit. Anyway, so in this case we're going to use the flirty flamingo as per the set. So we've only got a tiny little border around the paper and the flirty flamingo. And then you're going to add your die cut straight on top of the paper. So you can do that now. So choose just glue just in the major parts is all I've done. If you wanted to put it on all the shells and all the reeds and things, that's totally up to you. As I say, I've let them all go a bit freestyle around the edges there. So it's going to fit pretty much perfectly onto your layer there, onto your mat. And I've left some of the bits in there. Probably would have been best to get them out before I started. There we are. Okay, so that's what we've got there. At this point you want to add your ribbon. Okay, so if I've given you the biased ribbon, the edging ribbon, you're basically just going to want to wrap it round, bring it over to the left hand side and tie a bow, over to the left hand side. So as I say, yours will be a shade of flirty flamingo, whereas I have to buy a new flirty flamingo because it died. But so you can imagine with the white you're going to get the same effect if you can tie the bow in the first place. I think it may not be a very good bow tying day for me. This one feels better. There we are. So position that where you like it, give it a little bit of trim. That would be where you'd be putting your bow. Then if you can imagine, you've got your sentiment box and your panel of your little stitched shape there to the right hand side of that. Okay, so that's what yours is going to be if you have the crinkled ribbon. If you don't have the crinkled ribbon, you've got this one here, so you can choose what side you want to actually show to the front. There's this side that has the beautiful gold fleck through it, and then there's that side which is just a plain ribbon. I'm actually just going to go the plain ribbon, I think. I think that will go quite, I don't know. This is the first time I've done it with this ribbon. Actually, no, I think I'm going to keep the gold looking up. So you're going to pop it there like that. So to get that, hold that in place, and there won't be any bow tying with this one. So that could be a bit of a bonus if you're like me and bow challenged. So we're just going to pop some double-sided tape onto the back just roughly where you want the ribbon to be. And then position it across there. I think one of my dogs is up the back barking at something. I'll have to go and get her down. So probably position your ribbon just above the curl, the spiral of that shell. I think that's probably about the right spot. Make it sort of fairly straight and curl it under so that the ends are caught by your double-sided tape. Okay, so that's there like that. Okay, so you might as well now finish the job and attach the rest of it to your card base. So I'm just going to glue this, so the rest of the area, bring in the card base and attach it like that. So I see you've got a slightly larger border around the blushing bride. Okay, there we are. Okay, so that's there. All right, so what we're going to do now is stamp our sentiment. So you've got a little smaller sort of ornate sentiment box there in Very Vanilla, and I'm going to use the Love You to the Beach and Back sentiment, which fits in it just pretty much perfectly. Just in the centre, straight as you can. There we are. Okay, so that is going to get glued straight to the Blushing Bride stitched box, and this together is going to go on dimensionals. There we are. So grab some dimensionals. Have I got some left from a previous card? Nope. No. Oh, there we go. So just some dimensionals on the back of that. And that will sort of capture your ribbon so it doesn't move around too much, which is sort of nice. So we're slightly off to the left hand side. And you're sort of capturing the ribbon halfway. There we are. I like that ribbon. It's sort of shiny. Cool. Okay. So you can actually tell that shimmer paper is not a patch on the pearlized paper. You guys are going to love that. It's going to be a lot more. It shows a lot more depth than the shimmer paper. So yeah, I hope you'll love it. Okay, so what we're going to do now is grab our little scrap of Very Vanilla and our Blushing Bride ink, and we're going to stamp the little sea star that we haven't used yet. Just going to stamp him just there like that, and I'm going to cut him out. There is actually a die for this one, an actual dedicated die, which you could do if you've got the bundle, but as I say, quite a lot today. The shapes are pretty good. Nothing too fussy with this fussy cutting. There we are. Nearly there. One more arm. Voila. Now I'm rethinking this design a little bit. On the original card with the bow, we had the bow there, so I put my little star here and it seemed to balance it out. We haven't got a bow in this one. I'm wondering whether the little starfish would be better on this side, or down a little bit on this side, just to give it a little bit of balance to bring it back into the centre. So I'm actually going to do that there. As I say, in the original one where you have the bow, you might want to balance it off with your starfish on the right hand side, but because I don't have a bow here, I'm going to actually pop my little starfish there. So he just needs a bit of glue on the back because he's going to be sitting on our sentiment boxes and get the height from them. So there, just like that. You could put him on another dimensional, but then you might have trouble fitting him into your envelope. Okay, just like that. Nice, very nice. Okay, so now we're going to bring in our pearls. So these are the beautiful Blushing Bride pearls from the hydrangea set, as I mentioned previously. We're just going to pop those around this place, one of them on my finger. So just up here, and as I say, wherever you prefer to put your pearls, it's entirely up to you. It's your creation now. Sort of slightly different because I've moved the position of my little star. So I'm going to move that original one down to there. There we are. In which case this one should probably move as well. But I don't want to ruin my paper. Might leave it where it is, just leave it there. That's fine, don't fiddle with it, Julianne. Okay, so that is the front of our card done. As I say, it's slightly different to what some of you have. We have a bow here to the left, but we've changed the ribbon, as I say, with my Flirty Flamingo pen running out of juice. Okay, so this is the one that some of you will be making, and this is the one that others will be making, but they're both really, really pretty, and I love that shimmery ribbon. Okay, so we've just got to pop our middle panel in just for our messages. You can, as I say, finish this off with the sentiment of your choice inside, maybe another image, bring in the star. Actually, I might pop the star in. I think that would sort of bring the star from the front to the inside and just continue that little theme. I know I don't do too many insides with my cards because, you know, you guys can let your imaginations run wild, but I might do it with this one just because this star is such a cute little image. Isn't he lovely? Don't know why. There's some starfishes down here in starfishes. This, I suppose that's the plural. Starfishes down here in Hobart, which are actually a pest. But I'm sure this little guy wouldn't be. There we are. Okay, so that's card number 3. I say yours will look slightly different, but if you follow the procedure or the method that I've just given you, you will end up with hopefully very happy with the results that you get. So there's both of the cards for that one. So that's all 3 cards for this month's class. I hope you enjoyed them. I hope you'll come back for future classes. I'd love to see you. I'd love to see the cards that you actually create. I've gone a little bit crooked there, haven't I? I'd love to see the cards you actually create. Pop them on my face, take a picture of them and pop them into my Facebook page. I'd really appreciate it. It's so nice to get feedback. If anything's missing or not clear in the kit, please let me know as well, because I'm always trying to improve how I present my kits to my lovely customers, and I'd love you to help me improve them so that I can get more participants as we go along. So anyway, okay, thanks very much, guys. I'll be back in April. I don't really know what April's classes are going to be yet, but I'm sure I'll think of something along the way. We'll see. We'll have starting to have some new products come, previews as well, so keep an eye out for those. But anyway, great to see you. Please pop back later, and I will catch you all again. See ya.